हेलो गाइस, आज हम बात करेंगे क्लास 10 चैप्टर 1 साइंस जो कि केमिकल इक्वेशन एंड रिएक्शन था। उसका हम इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन जो है एनसीईआरटी से वो हम उठाएंगे और उसको सॉल्व करेंगे। और उसके बाद जो इम्पोर्टेंट है वही वही है। बेसिकली उसमें बहुत सारा क्वेश्चन दिया हुआ है, तो हम जो इम्पोर्टेंट है वो सॉल्व करेंगे और बाकी आप खुद से भी कर सकते हो। सो स्टार्ट करते हैं गाइस। नंबर 1 क्वेश्चन इज दैट, तो यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन पूछा है कि हमें मैग्नीशियम रिबन को क्लीन क्यों करना चाहिए बर्न होने से पहले। मतलब बेसिकली ऑक्सीडेशन जो होता है और O2 के प्रेजेंस में जो ऑक्सीडेशन होता है उससे पहले हमें उसे साफ करना चाहिए, क्यों? तो इसका वैसे मैंने डिस्कशन किया था आपके प्रीवियस वीडियो जो लेक्चर था उसमें, बट हियर वी आल्सो डिस्कस अबाउट इट। सो व्हाई शुड मैग्नीशियम रिबन बी क्लीन बिफोर बर्निंग? मैग्नीशियम रिबन शुड बी क्लीन बिफोर बर्निंग बिकॉज मैग्नीशियम develops a protective layer of magnesium oxide on the outer surface of them. So what happens when we go to burning? The magnesium oxide serves as a protective layer which prevent them to burn or which prevent them to further oxidation, because basically burning is the oxidation of magnesium. So it prevents the magnesium to further oxidize. So we should clean it. So basically by cleaning we remove that layer of magnesium oxide. After that we should burn so that we can effectively oxidize the magnesium. Solution is that why should magnesium ribbon be cleaned before burning? So magnesium ribbon should be cleaned before burning because they develops a layer of protective magnesium oxide MgO which prevent them to further oxidize or burn, to prevent them further oxidize or burn. So hence we should clean magnesium to remove that MgO layer. So here you can clearly see the answer. So take a screenshot of this. Now I'm going to second question. Now the next question is that we have to balance the equation that H plus Cl2 gives HCl, means H2 plus Cl2 gives HCl. So here we can easily balance H2 plus Cl2 gives 2HCl. So here the main thing is that we have to show the physical state of all these things. So we know that hydrogen is we find hydrogen in the form of gaseous form, also chlorine in the form of gas. But here we have to know that HCl it is also in the form of gas. We are producing HCl also in the form of gas. So this was the main point here. You have to learn it. Okay. Now third question is that barium chloride plus aluminum sulfate. Barium chloride plus aluminum sulfate gives barium sulfate. Gives barium sulfate plus aluminum chloride. This is an equation written in words. Now we have to firstly write the molecular formula of all the compounds. So we have to. So I think you have learned about the valency in class 9. So you can write molecular formula easily here if you know the valency, and also you know that how to write a molecular formula based on valency. I can try my best to make you understand. First of all, we know that the valency of barium is +2. So the valency of barium is +2, and the valency of chlorine is -1. So it is -1. So when we go to write the molecular formula of barium chloride, what we can do? We can do that we will interchange the valency of both, means Ba. So in Ba there will be -1 because the valency of Cl is -1, and the Cl becomes +2 because the valency of Ba is +2. So it will become BaCl2. Similarly here, aluminium, the valency of aluminium is Al +3, and the valency of sulfate ion is SO4 2-. So it will become interchanging Al2 SO4 whole 3. Similarly in barium sulfate, what will barium sulfate becomes? Barium sulfate will become Ba2 SO4 whole 2. But this is molecular formula, so we can write its empirical formula also. It will become BaSO4, and we have to write empirical formula basically here. And in aluminum chloride, the valency of aluminum is +3 and chlorine is -1. So it will become what? It will become AlCl3. Okay guys, AlCl3. So here writing reaction, BaCl2 plus Al2SO4 whole 3. So BaCl2 plus Al2 SO4 whole 3. It gives what? BaSO4 plus AlCl3. Now you have to balance this equation. So how we will balance this equation? So for balancing, firstly we have to see the biggest ion. What is biggest ion here? Biggest ion here is SO4, which is sulfate ion. So we have to firstly balance SO4. So you can see that here there is 3 SO4, and here there is only 1 SO4. So what we can do? We can multiply by 3 here. Now you can see that there are 3 Ba here, and there are 1 Ba here. So no. Firstly we will balance chlorine. So you can see that there is 2 chlorine here, and there is 3 chlorine here. So how can we equal the 2 and 3? So for equaling 2 and 3, we will multiply 2 with 3, and we will multiply 3 with 2. So both become 6. So both become equal. So we have to write here multiply with 3, and here multiply with 2. So it will become 6Cl here, and also 6Cl here. So it is balanced. Chlorine is balanced now. So now you can see that there is 3 Ba, 2 Al, SO4 is 3, and SO4 is 3. Cl is 6 and Cl is 6. So this equation is now balanced. So this is the main purpose here for this question. Also, third purpose is that we have to write the physical state of all these. So you can see that BaCl2 is aqueous in solution. Al2SO4 3 it is also aqueous in solution. And BaSO4 you have to know that BaSO4 is a precipitate. So we will write here what? PPT, which is basically solid. And AlCl3 is again aqueous. So you can also write here that this is what? This is double displacement reaction. I have discussed in last video what is double displacement reaction and how precipitate is formed in double displacement reaction. So you have to go through my last video in which I have discussed about this. So going to next question now. Take a screenshot of this. Now I am going to next question. Now next question is that sodium hydroxide plus hydrochloric acid. Sodium hydroxide plus hydrochloric acid is giving sodium chloride plus water. Sodium hydroxide. So you have to write the molecular formula of sodium hydroxide. You know that the valency of sodium is +1 and valency of hydroxide ion is -1. So it will become NaOH plus hydrochloric acid means HCl. We know that the valency of H is +1 and valency of Cl is -1. So this is HCl here. So what will happen here? So you can clearly see that the main purpose of taking this question was that this is, you have to know that this is a acid-base neutralization reaction. You can clearly see that this is a base, this is acid. So it will both will react to form what? A salt. A salt here is NaCl, sodium chloride, which is, and another product is water. So you know that the product of a reaction of acid and base is what? A salt and a water. So you here see that sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid react in themselves to give sodium chloride and water. Now the question is that we have to balance this question, which is balance this equation, which is basically balanced. So getting to next question. Next question is that why amount of gas collected in one test tube was double than that in other test tube. So you write your question. Why amount of gas collected in one test tube was double than that in other test tube? Now I am going to answer it. So basically, you know the molecular formula of water. The molecular formula of water is H2O. So during electrolysis, what we see? We see that the amount of gas collected in one test tube was double than that of the amount of volume in other test tube. So what was the reason? So reason was that the test tube in which the amount was double. Basically, it was a test tube of hydrogen gas, and the test tube in which the amount was half, it was oxygen gas. So you can clearly see here that the molecular formula of so you can write here that the molecular formula of water is H2O. So on electrolysis, it gives two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen. Hence, the amount of gas collected in one test tube amount of gas amount of H2. Here also a question in book that was that which gas was double in volume. So the amount of H2 was double than that of O2. So now next question is that why does color of CuSO4 solution change when an iron nail is dipped in it? So here we have seen in the last video that it is a question of displacement reaction, and basically so iron is more reactive than copper. So iron react with copper sulfate to give the ferrous sulfate and copper. Basically copper was it was on the iron nail. It means you can clearly see that here there was a beaker in which there was a solution of copper sulfate, which was blue, and we dip a nail in this. After some time what happens? That the nail which was dipped, it what it develop? It develop a layer of copper. It develop a layer of copper on it, which become brown, and this solution change into what? FeSO4, which is colorless, or basically it is very light green. So we are calling it colorless. Basically, no, it is not colorless. It is green. Basically green. So the reaction involved in this question is that is Fe plus CuSO4 gives FeSO4 plus Cu. So here basically you can write that it is blue. It was blue in color, and FeSO4 was green in color. and Cu1 nuclear. So it is the answer. So you can write answer as that. After the reaction, the solution of CuSO4 was changing into FeSO4, and we know that the color of FeSO4 is green, or we can say it colorless because it is very dilute here. So what will happen? So the solution color change into colorless, or it fades away. The blueness of solution fades away. Now question is that what happens when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to iron fillings? It is basic question. This is a very basic question. In this, you know that there is reaction of metal with acid. So question is that what will happen when we react iron fillings with HCl diluted. So we know that metal, when we react metal with acid, either in dilute or conc, it gives metallic salt plus what? H plus hydrogen gas. So what will happen here? If we react metal iron with HCl, it will give FeCl2 and what? FeCl2 and H2. Now here the question is that first of all we have to write the physical state here. It will be solid, this will be aqueous, and this will be gas. Okay, this is diluted. Now you have to write that how can we test the release of hydrogen gas. So for testing the release of hydrogen gas, I have speak in the last video that hydrogen gas, property of hydrogen gas is that it is very inflammable. It is very inflammable gas. Very inflammable gas. So it catches fire easily. Catches fire. So for testing, what will we do? For testing, so for testing, we bring a burning matchstick. Burning matchstick towards the mouth of test tube. So what will happen then? What will happen? Then you know that after bringing the burning matchstick towards the mouth of test tube, the hydrogen gas will burn with pop sound. So after burning hydrogen gas burns with pop sound. Now next question is that difference between displacement and double displacement reaction. So difference between displacement and double displacement reaction. I have speak about both reaction in my last video, so you can clearly write the answer. But I am writing an answer here. Displacement here, and here double displacement. So what is the main difference? The main difference is that it occurs according to reactivity series, but here not that equation, not according to reactivity series. Now another main here is that the exchange of one ion. And here what is main difference? Exchange of two ions. Exchange of two ions. Now another main question is that here no formation of precipitate. And here formation of precipitate. Now you can clearly see there are three differences in these both reactions. You can also write an example for both. The example here, in displacement reaction it is Fe plus CuSO4, which gives FeSO4 plus Cu, and here basically the reaction is that, the example is that BaCl2 plus Na2SO4 gives BaSO4 and NaCl. If BaSO4 is what? BaSO4 is precipitate. ओके बस. सो ये था आपका इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर. इसके बाद हम आगे नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखेंगे. Next question is that what is precipitation reaction? So precipitation reaction is basically double displacement reaction. You know it. So another question is oil and fat containing atoms are why flushed with nitrogen. So another question is that oil and fat containing foods are plus with nitrogen. Why are they plus with nitrogen? So we know that oil and fat containing acid, oil and fat containing food, when get oxidized, it develops an unpleasant smell and taste. Why? Because the oil and fat here which is present, they get oxidized to make some unpleasant thing which have very odor, taste and smell. So for preventing that, so you can write here that oil and fat oxidize to give an unpleasant smell and taste. So which is called ncert also. Which is called ncert. So what we do? So we flush it with nitrogen. So we flush it with nitrogen to avoid their contact with oxygen. So we plus it with nitrogen to avoid their contact with oxygen. We can also write here that we make an inert atmosphere by nitrogen. So we make an inert atmosphere by nitrogen with the help of nitrogen, which prevent rancidity, and our oil and food containing food gets safe. So in here the video is end, and in next lecture we will talk about next topic. So thank you guys. Bye bye.